It's official. Governor Ron DeSantis of the great state of Florida has signed into law the bill stripping Walt Disney World of its special tax privileges and its self-governing abilities. A privilege that no one else had. Universal Studios didn't have this. No other theme park in Orlando had this. No other company had this, but Disney did. They had a competitive advantage, and they've had that for over 50 years because they wanted to run their mouth and get involved with public policy, a policy they had no opinion on until, of course, the woke mob started crying to them. Then they wanted to retroactively pretend that they cared, so they wanted to get involved, and Ron DeSantis decided, let's take a look and see exactly what's going on with these deals that you have, because it doesn't seem that it's fair. And now Disney has lost all of these abilities, and rightfully so. Now, I'm a huge fan historically of Walt Disney World. I love that place. I've always been a fan of that place. But recently, they have pushed identity politics and woke ideology so much in these parks that it is turning people off. Now, no, the parks are not just going to fail overnight. It's not going to happen. Just like they're not going to move Walt Disney World from Orlando, and anyone floating that idea has no idea what they're talking about. The Walt Disney Resort in Orlando, Florida, is twice the size of Manhattan. It's the same size as San Francisco. They're not going anywhere. But they're going to have to recognize that your audience doesn't want you directly involved with politics, and they're getting tired of it. Universal Studios is doing a great job right now in Orlando, Florida. They can't directly compete with Walt Disney World. It's just they're not on the same playing field, but they can eat into that market share, and they have been doing a great job of that in recent years, and Universal is doing a really good job. Now, we did hear from Ron DeSantis today, so let's hear what the governor of the great state of Florida has to say.
The other bill will be dealing with a handful of what are called these special districts that were done prior to the ratification of our Constitution in 1968. And one of those districts is, unlike anything else that we know in the state of Florida, that was called Reedy Creek Improvement District. It actually gave Walt Disney Company their own government in Central Florida. And so they control, they're self-governing. They have the ability to build a nuclear power plant without state consent if they want. They don't have to go through permitting. They have all kind of different benefits. And it was really an aberration. No individual or no company in Florida is treated this way. And it's not right to have dissimilar treatment. But, you know, they had exercised a lot of power over the years. It was never anything that was debated. In fact, I don't even know that I knew the name of it prior to this becoming something that was live in the past few months. So we had to take a look at that, and we looked and we said, you know what? I mean, man, this is not right. But, you know, you did have the situation with our Parents' Rights and Education bill. And the thing is you know when you're doing some of this stuff, you know, what happens with leftists and media. They like to distort. They like to create false narratives. For whatever reason, Disney got on that bandwagon. They demagogued the bill. They lied about it, whatever, came out against it. You know what? My view is I was very clear about saying, you ain't influencing me. I'm standing strong right here, so it doesn't matter. But, you know, I was very clear. But I was also saying, you know, I think it's interesting that you're getting involved in Florida, protecting kindergartners from going to school without having transgender ideology in their curriculum, but you don't say anything about the Communist Party of China with all the atrocities they're committing, and you're making a fortune with them. You don't say things about other countries and their practices, but nevertheless, I mean, it's fine. And so we weren't going to let that deter us. No big deal. We signed the bill, and then, and incredibly, they say, we are going to work to repeal parents' rights in Florida. And I'm just thinking to myself, you're a corporation based in Burbank, California, and you're going to marshal your economic might to attack the parents of my state? We view that as a provocation, and we're going to fight back against that. But honestly, even in spite of that, if none of that had happened, this is the right thing to do, just on the basis of those Zoom videos that you saw. He actually helped expose these Zoom videos. If you guys haven't seen these videos, you need to watch these videos. These are videos of very high up people in this corporation in Disney, and they're talking about their intentional agenda to inject sexuality in the programming that's provided to our youngest kids, kids of my age, 5, 4, and 2. They want that as part of Disney programming. You know, that is just fundamentally wrong. And they have the freedom, I guess, to do what they want. But as a parent, I was very shaken by hearing that, because it's one thing to talk about legislation, and yes, they were wrong, yes, they did all that, but when you're talking about these acknowledgments and really the glee that these people had in these videos that they were going to get this stuff in, they were talking about concepts like pansexualism. I thought to myself, I don't know what that means, but I know I don't want my 5-year-old daughter to be taught it. And so it's really, really problematic that when a company had been so synonymous with parents of young children, to yes, come out against the Parents' Rights Bill, but then to have those videos produced where they're doing that. And you know, I'm just not comfortable having that type of agenda get special treatment in my state. I just can't do it. And so...
Very well said. And that video is from a YouTube channel, Golden State Times. So if you guys are interested in finding out or seeing the full video in its entirety, Golden State Times is where I'm watching this from. But I mean, Ron DeSantis is awesome. He is fantastic. I love this guy. I think this guy is absolutely positively the future, in my opinion. And if you disagree, that's totally fine. You know, I try not to talk directly about my politics here on the Geeks Gamers channel unless it's applies to the direct thing we're talking about. I keep that more to my personal channel or on Twitter or things like that. But ultimately, yes, I'm a big fan and supporter of Governor Ron DeSantis, and I am a longtime Disney fan who is absolutely disgusted with this company. I'm disgusted with them. We run a theme park channel called Park Hoppin', and so obviously we are still going to be boots on the ground covering things and letting you know what's going on, because that's our job, is to let you know. But in terms of just like a trip just to enjoy myself, I haven't been to Walt Disney World in years now, and I have no desire to go from a perspective of just to go enjoy myself. And that kind of used to be my escape, is to just go to Walt Disney World to relax, to enjoy myself, to kind of take me out of the real world. And now you can't get away from it. Whereas recently I've been to Universal several times in Orlando, and I've had a great time. And I feel like I am walking out of the real world, and I'm going into this world that kind of pulls me away from all of the nonsense that the real world offers me. And that's what Walt Disney World used to be, and it's no longer that at this particular point in time. With the leadership at Disney, with the pandering to the woke leftist mob out there, Disney is a disaster right now. Their stock is plummeting. Ron DeSantis is nuking them out of orbit. They did this to themselves. They did this. They lied about a bill. They pushed a false narrative about a government bill that they had no problem with until, of course, woke Twitter told them that they needed to be upset about it. Then you see Disney CEO Bob Chapek groveling and apologizing like a pathetic beta loser. It was so embarrassing to see that. And Disney just does not represent the company that we once knew. It's not the company that so many people grew up on. It's just not. And until you rid this company of the leftist disease that is taking it over, it will no longer represent what Walt Disney's vision was. It is absolutely disgusting. But I'm so happy to have a governor like Ron DeSantis, and we're going to see what continues with all of this. It's going to be interesting, but hopefully we'll see you guys over on Friday Night Tights over on Nerdrotic's channel. Going to be a great show. We're going to have a lot to talk about. Thank you guys. Have a great day, and we will talk to you later.